Hello and welcome to Promenade Française. This is the wonderful place where people are coming from all over the world to learn French and stuff. And our friend has sunflower seeds in his teeth. And Gordon Gord is laying on the floor, waiting for time to go outside for our night walk. But fortunately or unfortunately, it's Sunday. I feel like I'm having a panic attack, man. But the thing is that you just have to keep, I mean, once the video starts, it's like, okay, do it, right? Oh, yeah, just do it. Yeah, learning a language is a lot of work. I learned Chinese and then I learned Russian. I tried to learn Arabic for a while, but I realized that Russian was way too hard to be studying two languages at the same time. And now, I think eventually I just decided I didn't really want to learn Arabic. Plus, I only lived in Saudi Arabia for 1 year, so eventually I left, and then now I'm studying French. Yeah, because I mean, I can see now that studying Arabic really there's no purpose. It has nothing to do with my life. All right, now my study buddy, she sent me this image today. It's pretty crazy. Also, it's not very good quality. Formation des formes verbales conjuguées du présent. All right, sounds like we're doing present tense. Now we got P1, 2, 3, 6. We got P4. We got P4. Forme orale correspondant à base. Correspondant à base plus haut. Correspondant à base plus e. No idea what they're talking about. Now, my feeling is that probably. All right, so we got une seule basse, deux basses, deux basses, trois basses. Parler. Okay, so it says une seule basse. Parler, to speak. Manger, to eat. Habiter, to live. Rêver, to wake up. Chercher, to search. Commencer, to start. Travailler, to work. Étudier, to work. Remercier, I don't know. Crier, I don't know. Jouer, to play. Échouer, I don't know. Continuer, I guess it's continue. S'habituer, so, I don't know. Payer, to pay, I don't know. Essayer, balayer, etc. Cueillir, essayer, dériver, ouvrir, couvrir, découvrir, offrir, souffrir, courir, conclure, exclure. So let's see. It's just, I don't know. Is it talking about the root? So, because I know that sometimes they talk about this idea of like having a root. So, parle. So it'll be like, it'll always be parle, regardless of how you are conjugating the verb. Let's just check to make sure the audio is working. Because as long as the audio is working, okay, it's good. Now we got achète and we got achète. We got lève and lève, appelle, appelle, jette, jette, espère, 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 préfère, préfère. What's the difference there? It's the same. P-R-E-F. Ah, the accent. Préfère, préfère, répète, répète, répète. Pay, pay, essay, essay. Balai, balai, envoi, envoi, ennui, en croix, quoi. Or what is this? I don't even know what this is talking about. And then base du pluriel, pluriel, base du singulier, dorm, dort, dorm, sort, sorte, part, répondre, répondre, viande, viande, temps, temps. And then we have the craint, craint, craindre, plein. And then we have three, trois basses. Prend, prend, prenne. Okay, I think it's trying to create some kind of rules for how to figure out these verbs. It's a lot of verbs. And what do I get from this? I would say in general, it looks like there's some kind of rules involved. But at the end of the day, you still have to learn each verb individually. And that's what this one's about. So you can see that this is le présent de l'indicatif. Utilisation, formation, verbe, IN and IR. Parler, habiter, étudier, avancer, manger, acheter, préférer, appeler, envoyer, payer. And yeah, so it's conjugation. And then it's just, I guess it's trying to help you learn how to conjugate all these verbs. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that you need to sit down and get used to that. Now, since I kind of want to like avoid this process, so I like, because it has the same thing in Russian, and I would say honestly that I'm not the best, and even in Russian, it's actually more simple in Russian than it is in French. There's less variation in Russian, and in general, yeah, I don't really put the time into it to learn, but I feel like if I just continue to read, so like today we did the reading, I did 2 hours of reading with my study buddy. We're on like we're in Mosiah chapter 4, I think now. Euh, Suis du corps du roi Benjamin. Le salut vient par l'expiation. Croyez en Dieu pour être sauvé. Conservez le pardon de vos péchés par votre fidélité. Donnez de vos biens aux pauvres. Faites-tu à sagesse et ordre. Yeah, we're in 4. And we're still doing the reading thing with RFI. Today we did um, Trump's first 100 days. Yeah, this one. The fun thing about today was we actually got through the whole thing. I mean, it's only happened twice now. So you can see that the news, it's always 10 minutes long. So every single time she reads a sentence, I read a sentence. I could go through the audio and listen to it and like boom, boom, boom. Merci. Et Rafi, il est 18 heures ici à Paris, 16 heures temps universel, midi à Washington. And yeah, like it could easily go. I would do a much better job with pronunciation if I went through this before my lesson. Anyways, we got through the whole thing in our little 50-minute lesson. So there you go. All right, so I'm not interested in that. Um, Now, the study buddy, she did the answers already. Look, what's this? I want to read her answers. Cher Maxime, nous pouvons venir samedi à 20 heures. Nous pouvons venir. We can come on Saturday at 8 o'clock. On vient. On will come avec des CD. Fato et moi, on voudrait acheter un cadeau à Evelyn, mais on n'a pas d'idée. Hein? What's that? Est-ce que tu peux nous donner des conseils? Merci et à samedi, Karim. Cher Maxime, je ne peux pas aller chez vous samedi soir. Je suis désolé. Je pars vendredi pour 8 jours chez un ami. J'ai acheté mon billet. et ils m'attendent. Je vous téléphone à mon retour. Passez une excellente soirée samedi et bientôt, Pierre. Père? Who's Père? Pierre. What does it say? 读下面的邀请函，写出不同的两种回复。Fato et Karim peuvent venir, ils vous demander les conseils pour acheter un cadeau. Ils viennent avec des CD. Pierre ne peut pas venir, il excuse et donne des raisons. I don't want to do this. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cheat because I really don't want to do this. Oh, my alarm's going to go off. I got to go turn my alarm off before this dang dog loses his mind. He's going to lose his mind. Ow. Oh, my foot's asleep. I need to drag my foot across the floor. Oh, no, I'm going to fall. Oh. Oh. All right. I think we're... Okay. We're back into control. All right. Somebody sent me my brother sent me a message. All right. No, Gordy. No. He thinks it's his time. His tail starts wagging. Is it my turn? Is it my turn? Do I get your attention now? I know you live for my attention, Gordy. This dog. Hey, buddy, bud. How you doing? Oh, you want food? Yeah, you want numbers. You don't live for my attention. You live for my food. All right, so let's just do a writing exercise. Instead of doing any work at all, let's just cheat. But rather than only cheating, let's do it so that it's almost like, something. L'invitation. Si dessus. That's what I thought it was meaning. Below. Read the invitation. Below and imagine the responses different. Go, stop it. Yeah, I know. You want to go outside. We've been through this a lot of times in your whole 2 years on this planet. Okay. Cher ami, samedi soir, je fais un dîner à la maison pour l'anniversaire doré. Mais attention, elle ne le sait pas. Nice. Rendez-vous chez nous à 20h à samedi. I used to have this French friend. It was a really weird situation. So I was in Shanghai. I lived in Shanghai for 10 years. And one day, one day, I was at church and there was a French guy there with his wife. And I don't know, I was kind of a not very good person when I was younger. And I didn't want to talk to these people because I always felt like people were just trying to practice their English with me in China. It just drove me crazy. I was like, I came to China to learn Chinese, not to walk around as everyone's English teacher. So whenever I met people that didn't really speak English very well, I was just like, it was like torture. So I see these guys from France, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to these people. Anyways, so as you can see, sometimes I've had some opinions. Anyways, one day I hear him talk. I hear Pierre. His name is Pierre. I hear him talk, and I was like, oh, he's an interesting guy. Anyways, he was doing a PhD in sociology at the time. He was studying Christian groups in China. So, I was like, what? It's incredible. And anyway, so we're on the bus. No, we're not the bus. We're on the metro. I was going back to my apartment. They were going back to their apartment. It's our first time that we really talked to each other. I'd never seen him before. Anyway, so they're like, so, where do you live? They're like, we need to change to another line. And I'm like, yeah, I got to change the line onto the other line too. They're like, oh, okay. So we start going on to the other line. So they're like, so where do you live? And I said, yeah, it's just one more stop. It's the next stop. And they're like, oh, we're at that stop too. I was like, wow, we live close to each other. Cool. They're like, where specifically do you live? And I was like, I live in this building. And they're like, what? We live in this building too. I was like, what? This is crazy. And they're like, which building? Which of the building? Because when you talk about like a apartment complex in China, you're talking about an apartment complex with 3 or 4 or 10 or 20 buildings. In our apartment complex, there was like 3 or 4 buildings next to each other. So I said, yeah, I live in this building. They're like, what? We live in the same building. They're like, which floor do you live on? I told them the floor. And they're like, what? Then they start getting worried. Then they're like, oh, this guy's crazy. And I'm like, what? And they're like, okay, let's go up. So we both get off this like the same floor. And then they're like, okay, so which room do you live in? And we're both walking to the same place. And then I'm like, I live right here. And they're like, that's impossible. This is okay, where's your key? I'm like, my key's right here. So pull the key out of my pocket, unlock the door, and I like take one step and I'm like, what? And they're like, we're next door neighbors. We literally live right here. I was like, well, that's weird. So that was my first French friend. It was crazy. That's not the only thing. So one time he was like, after I got married and to a Chinese lady in 2012, and me and her we went on all kinds of trips around China. One time we met this Christian group, and they were like we were just at some lake, and then I met this lady. She's like worked at some store, and I don't know, she brought up Jesus for some reason. I didn't really understand why. And then she was like telling me that Jesus came back again. And I was like, again? What are you talking about? Like the second coming? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, I mean, that's not exactly the way I understand the second coming. And I'm like, so where is he? And and she's like, well, he came back in the body of a woman. I'm like, what the? Tell me more. So she's like, yeah. So the leader of our church is this woman, and she has Jesus inside of her. I was like, this is amazing. Because like you run into this stuff a lot in China where they've adopted some kind of Western ideology or concept or product, but they don't do it the same way. Like you go and you find a McDonald's, but it's like McChan's, and you're like, what's the McDonald Chan? And it's like, what's a McDonald Chan? And then you go in and everything looks exactly like McDonald's, except it's like a little bit different. I just so I mean I was in China for 10 years. I saw a lot of stuff. Anyways, so so I saw Pierre years later. I don't know where we were, where he was. Yeah, he came back to China. He was doing some kind of, he had some sociology event that he wanted to go to, and he was presenting a paper or something like that. And I was like, dude, you gotta come with me. We're gonna go to this lake and we're gonna interview this lady. so, I, so at the time I had a car, so and me and my ex wife, she wanted to come with us too. So we all went together to this lake, and we met with this congregation, and that we went to the lady's apartment, and it was amazing. He interviewed her because his Chinese was okay. He interviewed her. He took notes, and then he ended up writing a paper, and it went into some French magazine. He was published for it. It was like so exciting for me to be part of this adventure, and you know, it was on that trip. It was exactly Imina in Russian. They say it's exactly on that trip. We don't say that in English. It was on that trip when we were talking about religion. Of course, we talked about religion a lot because we came from the same cultural religious background. And I told him that like I thought that he needed to embrace another religion, like with the same fervor and interest as he's embraced his own religion. Because like being completely like sometimes what happens with religions is people just think their own religion is way better than everybody else's, and then they say my religion is true and yours is wrong, and it's like in order to respect other people and other people's opinions, you have to spend a significant amount of time walking in their shoes. And from a religious perspective, it means like being open to believing that other people's religions are true. At least they're true to them. And then if they're true to them, then is it possible that you can go beyond your small point of view to the idea that maybe their religion is actually the true and only religion and your religion's wrong? I mean, like that's hard. That's real hard. So my like now what's happening I got this French tutor. She's Muslim and we're reading the Book of Mormon together. It's so crazy. And I don't know how much she believes in Islam or not. I can't tell. She doesn't talk about it. She doesn't express. I mean, she did mention one time that she felt that all religions were created by man and that she didn't believe in any religion or something like, well, she didn't say I don't believe in any religion. She was just like, I think humans created all religions. So anyways, as I told you, she's having some problem with one of her eyes, and then we were reading in the Book of Mormon, in chapter 4, just like yesterday, she was telling me how much her eye was hurting. She spent $500 on some kind of treatment and like it didn't work. So now she might have to do some kind of surgery. And then the same day, we were reading Mosiah chapter 4, and it says, et il arriva que lorsqu'elle a dit ces paroles, l'Esprit du Seigneur vint sur elle. Elle fut remplie de joie et maybe it was the one before this. I think this is the one we read today. Car voici, le temps vient n'est pas très. Here, so we're reading this. It's like just after she finishes telling me that she's having such a hard time, that life is so difficult. Then we read this. Car voici, le temps vient et n'est pas très éloigné, and it's not far distant. Oh, le Seigneur omnipotent, qui règne, qui était et est toute éternité à toute éternité, from eternity to eternity, descendra du ciel avec puissance parmi les enfants des hommes et demeurera dans un tabernacle d'argile et s'en ira parmi les hommes, accomplissant de grands miracles tels que guérir les malades, ressusciter les morts, faire du marché les boiteux, rendre la vue aux aveugles. So he's going to give sight to the blind. So it's like literally the day when she's like, I can't take this anymore. I'm having a really hard time and I just don't know how this eye problem is going to get fixed. And we read that Jesus is going to come down and give sight to the blind. And I also said that I replaced this word with her name. So I'm not sure if she thought that was funny or not. Anyways, I had a good time. It was good times. Oh, wait. Stop. There we go. There we go. Wow, it's so much French in the last 62 days. This is crazy. Gordon, it's a lot of French, man. You don't care. You're just gonna scratch yourself, gonna bite yourself. Yeah, Gordon tries to keep clean. He's a very clean dog. He's always cleaning himself. Okay. Sometimes, jeez, come on, man. Sometimes AI is so weird. What the heck is this? Oh my goodness. The world is dying. My AI stopped working. All right, let's check out the answers. Cher ami, samedi soir, je fais dîner à la maison à l'anniversaire. Okay, that's from Maxime. Cher Maxime, nous pouvons venir. We need this a little smaller. Come on. Gordon, what are you doing? Nobody wants to hear you licking yourself. Gordon. Gordon. Stop it. Okay, so we got beer. And then I don't know what that is. I'm just going to take that out. I need this a little bit smaller. There. And that is how it's done. That is how people cheat on their language studying. But, when you're doing a 90-day challenge sometimes, and it's Sunday night and you're exhausted, and you gotta take your dog for a walk, and you just gotta get it done. I mean, you should at least read it, right? Okay, let's read this last one. Since I read all the other ones. Je suis désolé, mais je ne peux pas venir à la fête demain. Demain soir, j'ai un problème avec les enfants. Ils ne vont pas très bien. Aujourd'hui, ils ne sont pas allés à l'école. J'ai appelé le médecin. Passez une bonne soirée. Wow, that's no fun. But that's life. Bye-bye.